What is going on, guys? This is Miasin, and yes, this is indeed a Sky Striker deck list. You are not on drugs. So it's actually crazy how much this deck has changed over the years. I mean, it used to play like Mystic Mine. Well, that was not too long ago, actually. The ban list changed everything, and that's the reason why I'm making an updated deck profile on this deck. I know it's a fan favorite. Everyone loves Sky Striker. Well, I mean, it depends because back when the deck was, you know, a 3-ray, 3 engage, 3 blah blah, people were, you know, finding it a little boring. But now that there are some other antagonists in the format, Sky Striker went from being the boring deck to being the chat deck. So yeah, today I'll show you guys my deck profile for the Sky Striker deck or strategy in this current format. But before this video starts, make sure you like and subscribe. My man, let's try to get this video to 1,000 likes. Oh, I know we can do it. And I will make a beautiful live stream on this deck as soon as we hit that 1,000 likes. So smash the like button right now. And now let's get right into it. Alright, so first of all, I'm actually playing Theron cards now. Yes, I know. So 2 Regulus and 1 Theron field spell. Regulus can summon itself by equipping any machine monster from the graveyard to it and the spell and trap zone. And, oh, well, you look at that. Every single Sky Striker Link monster just conveniently happens to be a machine. So if you have Ray or Rose and Regulus, well, you're gonna have your Shizuku play as well as a negate. And you also need more beat sticks now, because otherwise you're really just never breaking boards going second. Like, you're really not doing much with just Sky Striker monsters, and that's the reason why Regulus is, like, better than ever. And you can search the field spell, obviously, with Terraforming, and the field spell allows you to recur back those Reguluses over and over and over again. So 1 to 2 copies should be enough. I really don't recommend playing 3. And sometimes it can be a brick, unfortunately. So that's the reason why if you're not playing Regulus, I'm not judging you or anything. I think not playing it makes just as much sense as playing it. And for the Bisted monsters, because yes, I wanted to play Bisted monsters, Druidworm and Magnamut. Now, I know this might sound, again, extremely hilarious, but shockingly enough, Druidworm actually has synergy in this deck. Now, do you understand why? It's because you can send Druidworm with your own card effects like Multi-Roll and Era Zero to not only, you know, have a beat stick, but also send monsters your opponent controls to the grave once you're done attacking with the Druidworm. But on top of that, you can send the Druidworm to the graveyard on your opponent's turn thanks to Linkage. And now you might be thinking, but Yak Sign, you're lying. That is not true. You can only activate Linkage if you have no monsters in your main monster zone. Well, you see, it's like this. You're gonna go Linkage Chainlink 1, and then Druidworm effect from hand at Chainlink 2, banish one of their cards, and then summon the Druidworm, and then on the resolution of Druidworm summoning itself, the Linkage will resolve in order to send that Druidworm to the grave. So you summon your Kagari, Shizuku, Hayate, or Kaina on your opponent's turn, and then you go like Chainlink 1, your Sky Striker monster, and then Chainlink 2 Druidworm, or the other way around. So you can chain block, send cards to the grave. So that's like a massive interruption. Basically, it's a double interruption in case you have Linkage. And on top of that, you're getting your engine started. So this is like a huge consistency boost. And a lot of people might not really know what Linkage does because it's relatively new for the TCG. It's been announced for the OCG like for years right now. But basically, it's a card that came out in, I believe it is Battles of Brother Crystal Legend. I don't even know the name of the set. I don't care, but whatever. You get the point. The one that had the Clockwork Knight for Cyber Dragon and stuff like that. I'm pretty sure it was in that set. Don't quote me on that one, but now it exists in the TCG, so this card is really nice. It's basically a new way of accessing your Link monsters, and it's going to definitely help the deck quite a lot. But yeah, by the way, if you're not playing any Bisted monsters, you're really gonna have a tough time against pretty much everyone, I want to say. Like, Tearlaments is gonna be unwinnable, forget about it. And so that's the reason why these cards are absolutely required. Magnamut just gives you a chance, at least against, like, Tearlaments. And Druidworm, like I said, the synergy with Linkage is absolutely appreciated. But that still doesn't change the fact that Magnamut is the better one to draw, especially if you're going second. And also, it grants you access to Wallow, which allows you to maybe unbrick even more, because you can steal, like, your opponent's spell cards, and potentially do some nice things and get access to your engine that way. So yeah, 6 Bisted monsters, 2 Regulus, and then 3 Ray, and then 2 Rose, of course. Rose can be played as a 1-of or as a 3-of. Everybody has been, like, mixing up, like, the ratios. It's never really the same thing, but I think 2 is a good number. And I'm also playing Reinforcement of the Army. And the final handtraps would be Ash and Infinite Impermanence. I don't think DD Crow makes any sense. I don't think Valor is good. And I guess Ghost Mourner could be decent because it's technically a way to, like, do something for time. And yeah, you can also accelerate the OTK. But just like in the TCG, the card just sucks, honestly. Like, it's a better card in the OCG. It has a better effect, even though it's the same effect, but the ruling is different. Yeah, I know it's really stupid. Anyways, for the spell cards, because this is mainly a spell deck, 3 copies of Triple Tactic Talents. It's a really good card going first and second. Reinforcement of the army, engage. If only I could play 3. Oh my god, this deck would still be fair, right? And I don't know about that. Upstart Goblin, Terraforming, double Afterburner, and then 3 copies of Linkage. So Afterburner is just a decent card overall. I guess it trades like 1-for-1 with negates. I think it's better than Jamming Waves. I just don't really think Jamming Waves is worth playing. You might as well play Afterburner because also when you have like 3 or more spells in your grave, it becomes like really nasty. You can start destroying spells and traps without targeting as well. So I just think it's like the superior one. Obviously, Linkage, I already explained. You can actually OTK your opponent. By the way, if you have like this and something else. I forgot the exact OTK, but I've made like a combo video on that, so go check it out if you're not too lazy. I know I am, so I'm not even gonna try like linking it up to this video. And then Shark Cannon, you don't really have to play more than 1 Shark Cannon because you already have Jewelworm and Magnamut to banish cards. You don't want like too much redundancy. And then Hornet Drones, triple Widow Anchor, the one multi-rule, double Area 0, and then 1/3 on Field Spell. You don't want to play triple Area 0 and double Field Spell. I think 3 different Field Spells overall is like way more than enough with Terraforming. Well, 3 different Field Spells, not really different, but whatever, you get the point. And then finally Infinite Impermanence. And for the extra deck, well, first of all, let's start with the Link monsters because it's kind of obvious. Triple Shizuku, that's the best, no, it's not the best one. Kigari is by far the best one. It recycles back from the graveyard to the hand, so you get immediate value. I know everybody is like always impatient. They always want to get their stuff right now. They always want to get their engage so that they can abuse it and draw even more cards, and then engage into engage, and then probably get a game loss because that's illegal. Imagine resolving 2 different engages in like the same turn. Kind of sussy in NGL. Yeah, Shizuku really good because you can turn pretty much any bad hand into a good follow-up play for next turn. So in theory, what you can do and win with would be like a Ray and then 4 hand traps, or like 4 other utility cards, or like Ray with like 2 Bisted monsters, the Regulus, and I don't know, like an Ash or something, and you search your engage on the end phase, and then next turn, like, you top deck a spell card, and then you activate it, and then you fuel your grave, your engage draws cards, your opponent, like, all your opponent's plays were stopped, you can make, like, some Link or whatever plays, climb into, like, an access code talker and stuff like that. So yeah, the follow-up is always going to be nasty in this deck if you can survive, because that is the major flaw with Sky Striker. It's a very deck post, like, turn 3, turn 5, but turn 1 is usually very, very rough for the deck. It has a very big disadvantage in the early game, but a very huge advantage in the grind game. But yeah, triple Shizuku, triple Kigari, 1 Kaina, double Hayate, double Zeke. You kind of need to play 2 when you're playing a lot of non-Sky Striker monsters that summon themselves. Like all of these, basically, even though the Regulus doesn't conflict at all because it sends itself to the graveyard in order to negate something, so it's going to be able to free up the Widow Anchor. Same thing with the combo with Jewelworm and Linkage. And either way, the conflicting isn't really much of an issue because you can just use your Widow Anchors first and then your Bisted monsters. So that's not like that problematic. And then at the very end, like on your own turn, you just link off all your monsters for like Zeke and stuff like that. And you don't really have to like go into like a Phoenix and make your plays worse. So that's the beauty about them. And also Area 0 to like target the Jewelworm is just like, oh my god, I love this so much. Anyways, Phoenix, Unicorn, Access Code, and finally Wallow. So I think these cards are kind of self-explanatory. I couldn't really find anything else. Obviously, you can't go like Needle Fiber, Celine, Access Code, OTK anymore. So it kind of got nerfed, but it's not the end of the world because Needle Fiber had to get banned anyways. And Wallow is really broken if you get to play a bunch of level 6s in your deck. So that's it for the extra deck. And finally, for the idea section, the Hamp, the Kaiju, you don't really have to play that. It's also not really good against like the Flanderies deck because, you know, you can only Kaiju with the Gadarla on the Windbearer statue, so this is pretty much useless. Pankratops, whatever, I mean, it's just a one of Unsearchable Saki. And Fenrir is really not a card that I recommend because it's just gonna clog your zones even more. There's really just no reason. Like, at least these monsters are hand traps, so at least they can do something on turn 0. Fenrir, nah. So there's really just no synergy. Droll, Duster, Dark Ruler, Shared Ride. Oh, this used to be like very good in this deck. We never know. Maybe it's gonna be become good again. And then D-Fisher, I mean, that's gonna hurt you, so yeah, you don't really want to lose your Ray every single time. It's just kind of bait. Necro Valley, same thing. Like, your Ray's just not gonna come back. Kind of bad. Evenly matched, and there can only be one, which makes no sense when you're playing Regulus. That's pretty much it for this deck profile. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I'll see you guys very soon. Peace.